for waiting so patiently. It is 5:40. We have a quorum, and I will now call this meeting of Parks, Recreation, and Arts Commission to order. City Clerk, would you please conduct roll call?
Yes. Commissioner Barraza is absent. Commissioner Collier is also absent. Commissioner Dolan,
Here.
Commissioner Duran,
Here.
Commissioner Kucharski,
Here.
Commissioner Miller is absent. Vice Chair Ward,
Here.
Chair McCoy.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Is there a motion to excuse the absence of Commissioner Barraza?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Dolan. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Duran. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion passes. Is there a motion to excuse the absence of Commissioner Collier?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Duran. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Commissioner Dolan. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say no. Motion passes. Is there a motion to excuse the absence of Commissioner Miller?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Duran. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Kucharski. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion passes. We will now begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Will everyone please stand? Ready, salute. Thank you. We will now start with the approval of the agenda. City Clerk, are there any changes or proposed changes to tonight's agenda?
There are no changes.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Dolan. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Commissioner Duran. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. This item is approved. We will now move on to approval of minutes. Are there any changes or proposed changes to the minutes from the regular meeting of July 20th, 2026?
There are no changes.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Duran. Is there a second? Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Vice Chair Ward. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. This item is
Chair,
approved.
I'm going to abstain from that since I was absent from that meeting.
Okay, no problem. Do I have to do it over?
You don't have to, but you don't have to abstain since the minutes are already provided in the agenda, so you can read them.
In which case, I'll change my vote to approve.
We're starting early, I see. We will now move on to subcommittee reports. There are none, so we will now move on to member reports and comments. Commissioner Duran, do you have any reports or comments?
Nothing for me, thank you.
Thank you. Vice Chair Ward?
None, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Kucharski?
You repeat the question?
Do you have any reports or comments for this commission?
No, not right now, thank you.
Not right now. We got coffee in the back.
Okay.
Okay. Commissioner Dolan?
Just one briefly. As a member of the Fresno Chaffee Zoo, I have the chance to see Roding Park on the daily and quite close up. And I have to say, Roding Park looks amazing these days. It's quite beautiful, and they've done some tremendous improvements. So I just want to note that.
Thank you. We will now move on to city administration and park staff reports and comments. Does anyone from the administration have any reports or comments for the commission?
None this evening, thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone from the park staff have any reports or comments for the commission?
I do, Chair, thank you. Good evening, Commissioners. On Friday, August 13th, my staff sent you all an email that we were asked to forward regarding the Polynesian dance programming. The City of Fresno acknowledges the questions that have been raised and are evaluating a restructured multicultural dance program and plan to come back in the spring of 2027 with an update on the multicultural dance program. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now move on to unscheduled communication. Would any member of the public like to speak on any issue within the jurisdiction of this commission? You will have up to 3 minutes. As a reminder, if you'd like to comment on a scheduled workshop or discussion item, now is the time to make those comments. If you would like to make a comment regarding any of the scheduled hearings, comments will be taken when each item is heard. The first card I have in my hand is Shaylee Dixon. Shaylee. Sorry.
Hello. Aloha ahi ahi. Good evening, Commissioners and Director Aguirre. My name is Shaylee Dixon, and I've been dancing with the amazing Hula Ohana Fresno through the City of Parks Department. I've been a student for 15 years now, and I've been teaching children of this community for 3, which I love. But before we begin our public comment, I would like to offer you an Oli Aloha, a traditional Hawaiian greeting chant, because in Polynesian culture, it is important that conversations begin by acknowledging one another with respect and aloha. Although we are here to discuss a sad matter, we've come with the hope that this conversation can begin with the same spirit of mutual respect and understanding. O nauna I ka hala me ka lehua, he halele hua no iana ka noe. O ka uno ia e ano I ne liane. Ho'i o ka hiki mai. A hiki mai no oko, a hiki pu no me ke aloha. Aloha e, aloha e, aloha e. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Regina Stoner.
Good evening. My name is Regina Stoner, and I stand before you tonight with many of our families to share a story of a vibrant cultural community program that served the underserved area of Southeast Fresno for 27 years before ending with an email. Back in 1998, when my sister and I were teaching at a local private dance studio, we were informed by the studio owner that he was not renewing his lease due to increased costs. Our students suddenly had nowhere to practice. For a time, we gathered at Einstein Playground, dancing on the grass and doing everything we could to keep our students together. In 1999, one dedicated parent, Josie Kubiak, connected us with the Parks Department, and Mosqueda Community Center became our home for the next 27 years. We want to sincerely thank the City of Fresno for those 27 years of partnership. Because of that opportunity, what started with just 10 dance students in 1999 continued to grow. In 2011, we added Tahitian drumming and strumming with 4 students. During the 25-26 season, our program served 90 dance students and 12 drumming and ukulele students. Over nearly 3 decades, approximately 2,017 youth, adults, and seniors have participated in our program. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Jessica Tejeda.
Greetings, Council and Mr. Aguirre. My name is Jessica Tejada, and I am a participant in the Hula Ohana program. This is my 3rd year in the program and my daughter's 4th year, who who I signed up to do along her so that we could participate in some family bonding. I also participate with my best friend, who is a member of the program. This has never been just another recreation class. It became a multi-generational community where mothers dance beside their daughters, grandmothers beside their granddaughters, husbands besides their wives, brothers, sisters, cousins, and families all learn together. For nearly 3 decades, the city helped make our culturally rich dance and music program accessible to many families who otherwise couldn't afford private instruction in the Southeast community, where I also reside as well. While similar classes in the Valley range from $45 to $90 every month, our participants pay just $75 for weekly classes that span from September to June, and with the registration fee of $75, which is still listed in the current master fee schedule. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Cassandra E. Rowe. I hope I said it right. Yes. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Cassandra, and I've been a dance and music student of Hula Ohana for 14 years. The last few weeks have been very difficult because without any prior conversation, our staff were notified by email that their temporary positions with the Parks Department had ended. It took multiple phone calls and emails before anyone could explain what that actually meant. On July 21st, we were eventually informed by our personal manager that the department was going in a different direction, and our program had been eliminated. We have attempted to reach Director Aguirre by phone and email, but as of today, we have not received a response as to what led to this decision. Director Aguirre and commissioners, regardless of the reasons behind this decision, we believe our families deserved better communication. 27 years of partnership deserved a conversation, not an email. We deserve the opportunity to sit at the table, discuss challenges, and explore solutions together before a program that has served more than 2,000 residents had been eliminated. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Jessica Valles.
Hello, my name is Jessica Valles. I've been a dancer with Hula Ohana of Fresno for 20 years, starting when I was 4. Joined with my mother, Gloria Valles, who has also been a dancer with our program for 18 years, joining me in classes to learn more than just culture, but values. When you look at our classes, you don't just see students. You see generations of families learning together. We believe this happens because our program is rooted in values. We'd like to share an opportunity, or a portion of our E Kola Mea Nui, a mele that teaches 3 great things that we strive to pass on to every student and their families. This is faith, love, and aloha. E Kola Mea Nui, makahonua. O kamana o I o kamana o lana. Ame ke aloha kai oia e. Pumai ka ina mea a pau. Pumai ka ina mea a pau. In closing, we respectfully ask that you help us understand the process that led us here. Above all, we hope that this experience changes a process that values communication and collaboration with community partners who dedicate years of service to this city. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Han Tran.
Hi, good evening. you hear my voice. I was crying. So I'm a dancer for 3 years, and I'm also the mom of another dancer for 3 years. We were looking to be entering in 4th year of dancing. We love the programs because it's not just about a co-curricular event. It's like an extended family where we learn a new culture, we make friendships, we share our food together, take care of each other when we are sick, right? All of our other speakers already talk about how good the program be for ourselves. Let me share how I feel for the parks, your side. So most of you just heard about the program by its names, but I just want to say that, these programs, in compared to many other programs that park has, is the most inclusive and the most sustainable programs. The reason I can say it because our family, like one of my friends said, the park offers a lot of affordable co-curricular. So we do Camp Fresno, we do sport, we do swimming, we do drama, we do cookings, right? Everything. But none of the program offer to everybody. Some of the program offer to only young children, some of them offer to teen, some to elder. None of them offer to adult. This is a program that offers to everybody. All gender, from young children of 3 and 4 years old to adults, the one who's, pay tax the most right now, but had none of the care and attention from park program because there's none program that we can participate. We're just there as the guardian of our children when they go to the programs. This is the one. So that's why I call it the most inclusive programs. It's the most sustainable, you heard already. It lasts for 27 years, where there's generation go through. Some people get off because they're older, they go to work, but when they have time, they come back and they join again. We have people who coming back because now they find time to participate again. That's how good the program is, right? So, is my time over?
No, you have 1 minute.
Okay. So what's more, it is a program that among only 2 programs that you have that do art. The Art Hive that inspiration and the melody with us. So only 2 art programs you guys are offering right now to the community. It is the only one cultural program you offer to the community. So if you cut it now, we had no cultural program where we truly learn. You have global camp during summer for kids, but only kids can attend, and actually they don't learn culture. My kid goes there and he eat or play some game, that's it. But he don't learn much about the culture. This is where we learn about culture. So I really thankful that you offer a lot of quality program for us, but we do hope that we pay more attention to art and culture and hopefully bring it back. And I heard Mr. Aaron Aguirre, you said you won't bring it back to spring, right? In spring 2026, is that what you said earlier? So we're thankful for that and hope you could reconsider to bring it back. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Sam Tran.
Hello, my name is Shanwen Tran. Thank you for letting me speak today. I have been a participant of hula program for 3 years. I was sad when my mother told me that the hula program at Mosqueda Community Center and Library was no longer available. Please do not take away the program because it has helped people and me make friends. It also helps people learn about Hawaiian culture, language, music, and dance. It doesn't feel like I'm going to a co-curricular event, but a school where I feel happy and I grow. I hope you will reopen the program so more kids like me can benefit from the program. Thank you for letting me speak today.
Thank you. Okay, I can't read this writing. Levi Weinbremer? I tried.
That's horrible handwriting. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, and Commissioners, City staff. I have a unique perspective on this program. I've been a Parks and Rec professional for 35 years. I was with City of Fresno for 29 of those. I supervised this program for a number of years. My children have all gone through the program. My wife has been dancing and singing with the program for 10 years. I understand that programs change, objectives change, and This program, as you can see, has a lot of passionate people behind it. It's not just a class, it's about multicultural generations coming together and enjoying enrichment and culture. There's also other aspects of this program that maybe aren't being called out. This is a fitness program. Dancing is a difficult task, and they work really hard at doing it. The mental and emotional wellness, they're able to get out and have this camaraderie, this family connections, and have an emotional connection that isn't just another screen. So this is a space for them to really get away and do these pieces. You've heard a lot about the cultural appreciation for all of Polynesian pieces. But the biggest piece about this is the community that's created. There are people who are watching somebody else's child while they go and dance, and then they trade off for the next round. They really are a big family. The one piece that I don't want to judge or be critical of the staff, because programs do change and evolutions do happen, is the abruptness and the suddenness. There wasn't a conversation leading up to it. So that left a lot of people hurt and feeling very lost about how this came to be. And I'm happy to hear that we're going to try and do a multicultural program in the spring. But we're due to start registration tonight for this program that was continuing on. So it makes it really difficult for us to continue. But I would have a hope for us, a hope for the future. Because as we come together and we have this conversation, we want to do better for the future. We know Measure P brought a lot of resources to this community. We are thankful for that, and we are gracious for that. We hope that in the future we can look towards a program being cut or changed or modified in some way. We have that discussion, not only just with the analytics on the top end, but the participants. You can hear some of the passion coming from these students. We all need to be involved in making these decisions for our community, because at the end of the day, this is all about our community and how we improve it, both for the mind, body, and spirit, which is part of the pieces that are called out in Parks and Rec mission. So we thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next speaker, Soraya Malera.
Hi, my name is Soraya Milara. I'm 8 years old. It's my 4th year of hula, making my friends like Kaylani. I love dancing with my mom and my Nina. I love dancing with my mom and spending time. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Mariah Garcia.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mariah Garcia. I have been dancing with Hula Ohana at Fresno for 13 years, and I would like to share a bit of Hawaiian history and how it relates today. It was in 1778 when Captain James Cook first sailed on the beach into Waimea Bay on Kauai. In the centuries that followed, the U.S. military illegally overthrew their government, causing a shadow over Hawaii, draining its freedom, its culture, and its mana, the spirit that intertwines into one's being. Today, this is a history that resonates with hula, pushing us to continue its culture. I stand today with Hula Ohana of Fresno, a cultural dance and music program that sustains Hawaiian culture and its fight against oppression. A group that after 27 years partnered with the Parks and Rec program was eliminated without communication. 27 years is the amount of time it took for Halau Hula Ohana of Fresno to make an impact on the community at such a low cost. It was 27 years of bringing hundreds of people together of all ages to learn the arts and community behind a culture that was once heavily oppressed. I have been here for 13 years, where the aura of dance became a second home, and these dancers, my family. A home that enlightened us through physical, cultural, intellectual, and social experiences. It is now my duty to be here for hula as it has been for me over these 13 years. When I ask for your reflection of what it means to expose Hula Ohana of Fresno, I would like to end this with a quote. Our youth recreation activities are created to meet the needs of the whole child, mind, body, and spirit. The programs offered at Fresno's neighborhood centers enhance physical, cultural, intellectual, and social experiences of Fresno youth. This is found on the City of Fresno website under the Parks and Recreation tab. I hope you can see that our program provides exactly that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. City Clerk, do we have anyone online?
There's no one online.
Okay, we have one more card. Go ahead, Ome.
The city acknowledges the questions that have been raised and are evaluating a restructuring of the multicultural dance program and plan to come back in the spring of 2027 with an update of the multicultural dance program. Aaron, that's it. Aaron, that's it. That's what you can give. That's what you can give. 27 years? And when I found out, I'm shocked. The Mosqueda Center, 27 years of their life committed in partnership and trust, and all they got was an email. Not just that, but return the drum and return the speaker because it's the Parks Department's equipment. After 27 years. And that's your answer? I have no problem. Dulce up front, you can come to our space. Yes, but that's not the point. 27 years. 27 years, Aaron. And this is, the city acknowledges the questions that have been raised and are evaluating the restructuring of the multicultural, you couldn't even say it all, dance program and plan to come back in the spring of 2027. You know how that's displacement of a culture. Some of these children, families, they're broken, torn, this is family, and you've destroyed that like that in an email. 27 years, Aaron. You need to give them more than just that. You need to show these young people how the city works with community, how we work in partnership. And you don't have to text me back. I get it. We're not friends anymore. I get it. Maybe during Measure P, we were homies. But 27 years, Aaron, come on, man. You got a little bit more juice than that.
City Clerk, anyone online?
Yes, I have one. Chanel, you have 3 minutes.
Hi, can you guys see me or can you just hear me?
We can hear you.
My name is Chanel Criado and my daughter Ziana. Sorry, it's just very emotional for me. So she suffered some trauma as a younger girl, and she has also been diagnosed with ADHD. It's been very hard for her to connect, and when she started this class, she absolutely fell in love with it. She has since found a family, a community, and to see her light up when she dances and when she learns things and she's able to understand it and practice it, as a mom, has just absolutely meant the world to me. This dance class has meant so much to her, and when we heard the news, she's just been really sad. She said, "Mom, this is the only thing that I've really been able to look forward to. I love learning the dances. I love spending time with the people there." So just so you know, my daughter's 10 years old. and she's left with a broken heart because of this. That's all.
Do we have anyone else online?
Alexis, you have 3 minutes. Oh, Alexis is gone, so we have no one else online.
Thank you. I will now close unscheduled communication and move on to workshops. ID number 26-1078, workshop update on expanded access to arts and culture grant program. Will someone from the Parks Department please begin the presentation?
Okay. Shelby McNabb, Assistant Director. I'm here to provide an update on the EAC grant program for you all. So we'll start as we've done before with Cycle 2, and then Sarah Gaitan, our Program Manager, will be providing an update on Cycle 3.
Would you like questions to be asked after the presentation?
Yes, thank you. So for Cycle 2, staff have met one-on-one with 98% of the awarded groups. We are currently preparing more than 130 agreements to get funding in place. As of this morning, I checked, and the final number appears to be between 146 and 148 contracts to make sure that everyone is fully funded in Cycle 2. And this is a result of some organizations needing both a grant and settlement agreement based on the expenditures that they've incurred so far. So we're working on between 146 and 148 agreements total. There are 91 organizations approximately that we're working with to enter into those agreements. During this process, staff have identified areas where technical assistance may benefit grantees and have worked to send reminders, answer questions, and support applicants on a daily basis. We have around 42 parties that have asked for an extension to turn in their expenses and documents. That represents a good portion of the group asking for more time. We have 27 organizations, approximately 20%, that are nearing signature on the agreements that we're working through. We have 22 that have submitted all of their expenses so that we can review them to proceed with agreements. And there are approximately 38 in various stages of the process, and I'm going to show you through the next few slides how we're tracking that so you get a sense of all of the information that's being tracked. So Parks uses a tool called Monday.com as a way of keeping track of each of the organization's progress toward contracting and payment. The tool helps us to plan, track, and manage projects and workflows in one platform since there are many parties involved. I do apologize for the small font. I do have a slide after this that gets a little more zoomed in. But we have established sub-items that show the steps in the workflow in order to get a contract. As I mentioned in prior presentations, you have to be set up as a vendor with the city. In order to do that, there are certain documents to submit. We need signature authority documentation from the organization so that we can ensure whoever is signing the contract legally can do so. So there are several steps to work through as we collect all of those items, and all of the different grantees and settlementees are at various steps in that process, but do know that we have a dashboard that's updated daily. And this is just an example with a sample organization of some of those steps. This is more of a zoomed in example. So we monitor progress for each task. We follow up and we indicate when we followed up last to make sure that we are also reaching out if we haven't heard anything about the documents that are required. It takes a little bit of time for folks to gather their receipts and expenditures if they had already started to expend the funds. Whether they had the funding or not, they may have incurred expenditures. And so as we work through the contracting process with them, we're working through that path. As you can see on the table in front of you on the slide, this is an example of a contact sheet. We have it indicated as submitted, SharePoint access, indicate when they have access, when the meetings were done. You can see the date complete there. The vendor forms, we follow up with our General Services Department and purchasing to ensure that they are vendors and that has been completed. Signature authority documents, we indicate when we've requested those and sent the agreement terms for review. So as you can see, we're working through a multi-step process, in some cases 2 different agreements with one project based on trying to get them most of their money the fastest, but also trying to manage the public accountability of how the funds were spent and having a record of those expenditures. You can also see another zoomed in view. So this is something that is monitored. We have staff working in there daily to update the progress. You can see the bar toward completion. And when I have the full screen of this, which we didn't load for this presentation since this is static, but when you scroll, it's quite a rainbow as we work through each of the steps in the process with all of the different organizations. We do meet internally twice a week also to resolve any issues or address any situations where people might be stuck in one of the steps and what can we do to expedite, unstick it, and work through those challenges. So that concludes my update for cycle 2. I'm going to turn it over to Sarah for cycle 3, and I'll be happy to answer any questions after the presentation.
Good evening, Commissioners. Sarah Gaitan, Program Manager with the Parks Department. So I'm going to give an update on the Cycle 3. So far, the eligibility screening form has been closed. That was closed this Saturday, August 15th at 3 p.m. And up here I have what we were on the 13th when this presentation was published. We were at 101 eligibility screening forms, 31 of them were under review, 25 had been returned for editing or asking for any missing documentation. 21 project support applications had been sent out, and 24 general operating applications had been sent out. As of today, after the application has already closed, this morning we were at 204 eligibility screening forms that were received. We are at 129 that are currently being under review. There's 26 total that have been returned for editing, 23 project support applications that have been sent, and 26 general operating applications that have been sent. It's quite a big difference. We doubled over the weekend. We are continuing to keep the website up to date, the www.fresno.gov/EAAC. And grant applications, once they are received, they are due September 30th, 2026 by 3 p.m. As part of Cycle 3, we are continuing to complete technical assistance workshops. So far, we have had 3 out of the 4. The technical assistance workshops are taking place at Ted C. Wills, and then we also have a virtual option on Zoom. Any recorded meetings can be found on that same website under meetings. As soon as the meeting is over, we usually upload the recording there and any documents that were given to the attendees. July 23, we held a technical assistance workshop on the grant guidelines, and it was a review of the grant guidelines thoroughly, how we had reviewed them with PRAC prior to the actual workshop. In person, we had 13 people. Online, we had 43 for a total of 56. July 28th, we had a fiscal sponsorship workshop. In person, we had 20. Online, we had 16 for a total of 36. And on August 6th, we did a grant writing workshop. In person, we had 10, and online, we had 37 with a total of 47 attendees. This upcoming Wednesday, the 19th, we will have a review of the cultural arts plan so that people can get a better understanding of what the goals and recommendations are within the cultural arts plan, and hopefully this will help them produce a stronger application. So that will happen on the 19th, and again, the recording and the documents that are handed out will also be on the website. We continue to add frequently asked questions to our website, and again, people can filter through each of these topics. So far, we've had over 60 questions that have been submitted by the community and are added to the website. We are adding them every few days as they are received, so people can regularly go on there and check to see if their question is on there. The next 30 days, we are going to continue to meet with Cycle 2 grantees and move forward with contracting and funding, as shall be mentioned. We will continue to update the city's website with Cycle 3 information as we gather it. This will include the meetings, frequently asked questions, and any other information that we need to give out. We will continue to review the eligibility screening forms and provide application links to the eligible applicants. Again, we did double on those over the weekend, so we are going to work really hard this week to try and get through them. We will continue to review the fiscal sponsor pre-qualification forms for any organizations that are going to fiscally sponsor 6 or more projects. And we are also developing the application for the application review committee and outreach plans. We will be working with the PRAC subcommittee that will be formed tonight on those tasks there. For resources, any agendas, minutes, attachments, recordings from any meetings, we can go to the Fresno Legistar website that is linked there, and then also our EAC website. And as always, to receive any ongoing updates, you can people can come into a PRAC meeting, listen in online. We have listed there the future dates of the PRAC meetings that are coming up. The Expanded Access to Arts and Culture phone number, 559-621-2999, our email, and then also the website. And with that, we will go ahead and take any questions that you may have for us.
Thank you. I will go ahead and start it off. I have questions about Cycle 2.
Okay.
So up to date, Shelby, can you give a number of how many people have been fully awarded?
We have not executed any of the contracts yet to give them the remainder of their funds.
Do we have a timeline when that would be done?
So partially that is driven by completion of each of the steps. We have approximately 27 or 20% of the total that are about ready for signature. We are waiting typically on one more signature verification document that they submit so that we can verify that whoever's signing the contract legally has the authority on behalf of that nonprofit to sign.
Okay, so are a lot of the grantees who are awaiting payment for Cycle 2, are they applying for Cycle 3 as well?
I don't think I'm able to speak to that publicly, but I know that we had 204, so that's a good sign, and a lot of interest in the last week or so when people submitted.
Do you think the additional paperwork the city of Fresno is asking from the grantees has caused the delay as well?
You know, I think that it's a variety of factors. Obviously, it does take some paperwork to get set up as a vendor and submit maybe a resolution from your board that shows you have the legal authority to sign. On the flip side, I would say that as you know, I've worked in nonprofits many, many years ago, and before I sign any document for the city or in any professional role, I want to make sure that I legally have the authority. So it protects them as much as it protects us. Also, one thing that's taking quite a bit of time is for them to gather all the receipts associated with their expenditures. Although some organizations didn't receive any money, they went ahead and proceeded with expenditures. And so they're having to collect all of that, document it so we can make sure that they're paid what they're owed and that we have a paper trail for what was expended. And I would say that that does take some time, especially following end of like fiscal year. So a lot of people get really busy in July with their regular bookkeeping. And then we've received 42 extension requests. We originally had asked for the documents to be turned in around August 15th, but many people need more time to compile all of that information.
Okay, one more question. Or just a statement. I do appreciate the city of Fresno working really hard to undo what has been done in cycle 2 and try to make it right. But this is the reason why I did not want to start cycle 3. I wanted to wait till everyone was fully funded first before we started cycle 3, because we may have or simultaneously working on both, or we may just need to have everything awarded out and paid off and just be done with cycle 2, because this is really dragging on for a long time. We're getting ready to start reviewing applications, selecting panelists for cycle 3, but a lot of applicants from cycle 2 are still not paid. And this was the worry that I have, that we will still be hearing about cycle 2 and still be receiving updates. And as it looks like, there's not a lot of movement because of all the additional things that are being asked. So my question is, was a lot of these things, steps that are being asked of our grantees, were they in place prior, or is this something that the city has put in place?
Well, I'm not really familiar with Fresno Arts Council's setup for a vendor and making payments, but the city verifies where the payments go, and so we do have a different setup process for that. We are asking for receipts of expenditures and that documentation, which is standard of any grant program. We are, requiring insurance for those that are moving forward in the grant capacity because they had not received funding, and coverages may be higher, but in the agreements they had with the Arts Council, insurance was required. So are we requiring more? Likely, but there's a reason for it, and as I stated, it does protect them and the city and public funds. And I will say that this sets them up very well to be very competitive for state and federal grants. And this is really the minimum standard for grants at those levels. So my hope is that by going through this process the first time, they'll be well positioned if they're competitively awarded for cycle 3. And it will be a lot faster because they have their signature resolution documents saved in a folder that they can just send over to us. In some cases, they're having to get board resolutions, convene their board, and make sure that they have that legal authority. So a lot of this is, a contracting paperwork process, but the reason we built the Monday board to show exactly where everyone is so that anyone could pick it up and look and see what has been done, what is still pending, and have a pulse on what happens, because what I can promise you is we will not forget the cycle 2 awardees as we move into the cycle 3 phase, which is why we're tracking so carefully so that people don't get left behind. There are some who are not super responsive, and so we are reaching out repeatedly to get that information. It isn't just all on them all alone. So it isn't necessarily the simplest of processes, but as someone who's submitted hundreds of grant applications, it's not the most complex either. So I hope that we're equipping for the future and setting them up well, but I understand your frustration that I can't just, have a table and start signing agreements and cutting checks in one evening. It has taken a long time, but I'm so proud of my staff for meeting with 98% of all grantees one-on-one and making the progress that they've made today.
This may be far off, but are we in talks with any arts agency to be able to step in and take back and do the responsibility that the Fresno Arts Council was doing? Or is this just going to be housed in the city?
My focus is on cycle 2 and cycle 3.
Mm-hmm. So no, thank you. Now, anyone else have questions?
Real quick, I don't think we have time for that yet. We're still trying to get through 2 and 3, as Mr. Knapp said.
I'm just thinking ahead. All right, Commissioner Duran, do you have questions? I'm gonna go this way and work my way back.
So cycle 3 question. So I don't know for the second part of the presentation, but on slide 6, on the returns for edits, I was just wondering, Has there been any patterns or trends that you could share of like common maybe problems people are having or anything like that?
Yeah, so some of the things that we see are the incorrect document is attached. So we might be asking for a statement from the Secretary of State that you can download online. And at times people upload a blank document or an incorrect document, or a document says that they're not in fact exempt, but that conflicts with another document. We ask for different financial information, and so what might be submitted may be partial, maybe unlabeled, maybe conflicting with their tax return. And so we do take careful look at each of the documents that come in. We have a minimum of 2 reviewers. We have an internal review form where they go through each of the documents, and then they indicate specifically when things are reopened, what the issue was and what questions are needing follow-up so that we can clarify, because sometimes it's just a simple error. And other times it's disqualifying and that you may not be an exempt organization after all. So I would say the documents, but in cycle 3, technical assistance, one of our first meetings went over how to find the documents, went to the websites, screenshotted each of the steps you would follow, and then that's available online as a resource. I mean, the ship has sailed now that it's closed, but we did highlight that repeatedly to try to assist. But we don't, anytime that there is a question or if they are ineligible, we indicate why specifically so that they have a record and so that we have a record in case there's any questions that arise.
Got it, thank you. And then you mentioned it, but my second question, so I know you posted the attendance for the in-person meetings. Is there any way or by chance that you have the numbers of anyone who's watched the recorded meetings by chance?
I wish we did, because I know, at times it's hard for people to make something live, but then if we had a way to like track views or clicks, maybe we could ask. Yeah, we can ask the web and see if we can get a click, but we don't require you to like log in to view. Right. So I would imagine there's been a lot more people watching, and then that may pick up as they begin to submit their application.
Okay, perfect. And then my last question for the ARC timeline that was mentioned, if we're going to be forming the subcommittee planned tonight, and then we're looking at a September 30th deadline for applications, is there a rough timeline right now of what these next, what the next month will look like for that process?
I don't know if we have to speak to that during that item, or am I able to speak to that now for the ARC committee?
I mean, if it pertains to the workshop, you can discuss it. Otherwise, I'd wait till the actual item.
Okay, let's hold that one just in case. Okay. But I will say that there are some tentative milestone deadlines in the Notice of Funding Opportunities that work through estimated timeframes. But it is, once again, kind of an expedited schedule.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, thank you for that. And to the website that you mentioned, going through it, all the attachments posted for the 3 different meetings, the recordings, everything looked great. So thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Vice Chair Ward.
Yeah, I guess my question was also kind of around some of the process for cycle 3. I guess my understanding is that the 204 eligibility screenings that were submitted, whereas that kind of closed the universe of who might be an applicant, is that they had to do that first step to be eligible to submit an application?
Yes. So if it was not submitted, then
that window
they've missed their opportunity to apply. Yes.
For this cycle.
Yeah.
And then, but for the applicants who did the eligibility screening, who are now back in like an editing stage or searching to provide the right documents, do they have until the September 30th application deadline to also pass their screening, or is there some other deadlines I'm unaware?
So we are working through reviewing as quickly as possible, because until you pass your screening, you do not receive the link for the grant application. So the team is focused this week on reviewing all of the eligibility items that came in. But if someone was to not respond for an extended period of time, then that's going to shorten the time frame that they have to actually apply. for the grant, because they will not have a copy of the grant application until they clear to show that they're eligible.
Okay, yeah, I think that was my question, was whether it could be a concurrent process, but it sounds like you have to get through step 1 to be able to access step 2.
Yeah, we built it that way in Submittable because otherwise somebody might get an application, but then turns out they're not eligible. And so this is a way to ensure the eligibility is maintained before they apply.
Commissioner Cherkarsky.
I just want to say thank you. It's a lot of things to organize in a short amount of time, and you guys have made a lot of decisions to help move it along, and I can see that. So just a comment.
Thank you. Wouldn't be possible without the team.
Vice Chair Dolan.
So Shelby and Sarah, thank you very much for that presentation. I guess I just want to echo what Commissioner Kucharski said as far as phase 2 goes, that it's a tremendous job, I think, that the city has done picking up something completely unforeseen and unprecedented like this, and really putting together a process that I think is admirable and well organized and is really pushing people through in a way that inspires confidence and is also very timely. So I think you're to be commended on that. And just, I think probably Chair McCoy and I agree on most things, but on this I would just sort of push back a little bit and say I think this overlap between 2 and 3 is not a problem at all. And in fact, I think it's would create more problems, I think, by waiting on 3 and when there's so many people that are really pressing for these funds. So I think that's great. And then on that phase 3, Sarah, have you been seeking feedback on the process during these workshops? Have you been getting feedback from the grantees, and how has that been trending?
We did send out a survey after the first 2 workshops to get some feedback from everybody, and so far, all of the feedback has been pretty good.
Good.
So I could compile some of that information for you guys to review, but we have had good feedback. I think the only one that was a little bit off was just the sound on the recording. They couldn't quite hear, but we're hoping that we're going to be purchasing mics so that we can better assist the people that are online with that. And after this next workshop this week, we will send out another survey for the next 2 workshops.
Great. And I can just say from the outside, as someone who's receiving a lot of the communications and the updates on all of this, I think that you guys are doing a great job of getting the word out and getting people engaged. So again,
appreciate it.
Commending both you two and the team. I know that it's behind you. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. Any other questions?
Well, I know it's a lot of work, and I get it, but within Cycle 2, we have a lot of little organizations that are depending on this money, and if they're not able to receive their fully grant from Cycle 2, how can we expect them to apply for Cycle 3? It's like they're gonna be gone and vanished because they cannot sustain. So I'm looking at a bigger picture. I'm looking through a different lens of a lot of the smaller organizations. They probably have fiscal sponsors who probably owe their fiscal sponsors for fronting the money for their projects so they can meet a timeline that was set on them. So I'm looking at it from a different lens, and I think that because of the fallout, and it's all very brand new to all of us, that a lot of our focus probably should have went to Cycle 2 instead of having it overlapping to me, because it's a little confusing when you're still trying to receive funding from Cycle 2, but you need to get your documents in so you can continue on receiving funding for Cycle 3. But I'm looking at it through a different lens, and I do appreciate all the comments, and I know it's hard work. And it's hard being up here in this seat as well, you know, when you want to say something and you can't say something because you're bounded by the Brown Act, but I do appreciate all the work. So don't think that I'm just kind of asking questions that I get all the time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any more questions or comments for this presentation?
Just real quick, Chair, I wanted to kind of echo that, and thank you all too for your support and those words. Seeing this team behind the scenes, you know, late nights, weekends, it truly is, you know, remarkable to see what they've accomplished in such a short amount of time with what we inherited. So thank you for those kind words, and thank you to this amazing team.
Thank you. All right, no other questions? Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I had a question. It didn't come up during this presentation, but we had been hearing periodically kind of if things are progressing with hiring somebody to work on this within the department. Is there an update on that?
Yes, we are continuing to hire. We see one of our new employees here, Mr. Castro, in the audience. He's one of our new additions, and we have some additional interviews scheduled. So we are actively recruiting and hiring.
Any other questions? All right, thank you. We will now move on to hearings. Hearing number 26-1079, resolution to establish an ad hoc application review committee member selection subcommittee. Would the city attorney please make a presentation for this item?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Just wanted to really touch more on the mechanics of this. This is to create a subcommittee, and it specifically calls out, it's an ad hoc committee, which means it's not subject to the Brown Act. It will meet on its own. The resolution actually says that this commission will appoint it, and it says it shall be 3 members. So what your task tonight will be in working through this resolution is once you approve it, then you've got to then go ahead and appoint 3 members. Be a little tricky with, I think, 5 of you here. So, you know, usually it's preferable to try and find people who are willing and able to do this.
But how many people present?
Huh?
We got to appoint members with only 5 of us present. We have to get it done tonight.
I believe so, and then staff can touch on kind of the timing of it and any details as to actually.
I put us all on there.
Yeah, the resolution identifies the tasks to the members, that kind of thing. Staff can touch on it a little bit as far as the roles, but I just kind of want to go through the mechanics of it real fast.
And we appoint as a group. I don't appoint, correct?
Right. It actually specifically says that the commission does that. And so basically you'll do it by motion, figure out who the 3 are, do it by motion. But yeah, you'll need to adopt the resolution first.
Okay.
Just to speak to the timeline question that you had, the reason why we're asking you to pass it tonight and form the committee is because, as it was stated, the Cycle 3 application closes on September 30th. And so we're proposing to spend the next week or so developing the application tool that we'll use for the scoring committee members to express their interest, so that we have, you know, at least 30 days to do all of that outreach. And if we move through this process, that will enable us to get the application scored sooner. There is a training period that will be needed, and obviously we've got to promote and recruit, and so we're really looking for this committee to help review the application, the promotional plans and outreach plans to ensure that we don't have any blind spots as far as what we're planning to do, and then go through the process of the selection, reviewing the applications that are submitted. We do have a process in Submittable to review, so that can be done electronically. But if we push it, then we will delay the scoring process and formation of the ARC, which would ultimately delay the awards for Cycle 3. So hopefully that helps.
And Chair, I think if you remember, if we delay this, we start getting into October when we're meeting twice a week and time is of the essence. So time starts shrinking a little bit here and there.
Yeah, I just wanted to get it on record. That's all. All right. Thank you, Shelby. Would any member of the public like to make a comment regarding this item? Do we have anyone online? I don't see any cards.
Yes, I have Parvin. You have 3 minutes.
Could you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Parvin Malik. I'm from Iranian Culture and Art Club. I got in cycle 1, I was awarded the grant, and the same thing on cycle 2. Fresno Art Council never asked us for a so much detail about the receipt.
Excuse
But
me,
this
Parvin.
is, yes.
I'm going to mute you for just a moment. We're actually on hearing 26-1079, the hearing for the resolution to establish the ad hoc. The next hearing is for the expanded access to arts and culture grant program. I believe that is the one that you want to make comment on.
I want to make a comment on the Cycle 2 requirement for those details that they ask us, and I want to talk about that.
Okay, thank you so much. Continue.
Okay. So what they ask for the all detail, I took the screenshot of all of the expenses from all of the statement, and I got the copy from my account, all of the check that I wrote, and I send it to them, and then they look at it and they said that no, we want an actual the statement from July 2005 to June 2006. So one by one, I screenshot all of this statement from, let's say they want to actual the bank, and I did that. And so what happened now, they are making a list of the office, some of this stuff is from Office Max, some of them is from Amazon, because for all of the dance custom that I buy, most of them is from Amazon, is cheaper, and some stuff from Costco. Now they are giving me a list from like Costco, from Amazon, from Office Max. That is the list. They are like each of them like between 10 to 20 items. They are asking me to go one by one to these stores and ask them to pull out those receipts and then tell that what they are. And it is unbelievable. I cannot do that. So for the next Cycle 3, if I was granted, I will try from the beginning
I'm sorry,
to try
Parvin.
that.
Parvin, your comment is for the next item for the expanded access to arts and cultural grant program. Chair McCoy has asked me to wait until then for you to make your comment.
I will go ahead and close public comment. Does any member of the commission have any questions or comments regarding this item? It's only 5 of us, sure.
Well, do you want to, I know that we have to do this as a collective here, but I'm just wondering, do you want to poll to see if anybody has any interest that is here to serve on that? Because that would be a great place to start, I think.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how we have to do a motion to adopt it first, and then I'll be able to
Gotcha.
to do the
Just
polling
commenting
amongst
on the
us.
process,
Yeah.
I guess.
If I could point, it'll go by faster, but we have to do a poll. All right. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution establishing an ad hoc application review committee member selection subcommittee? That was a mouthful.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Dolan. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Cherkowski. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. This item has passed. This commission has the responsibility and authority to appoint members to this subcommittee. We would like to do a little soft poll, I guess, and I can start it off. I do have interest of being on the subcommittee. I expressed it before in plenty meetings, so I do have interest. Commissioner Duran?
I'm open to it. I mean, I don't want to take anyone else's spot, but absolutely, I'll be happy to serve.
Okay. Vice Chair Ward?
No, thank you. I'd like to make sure other commissioners have the opportunity to participate.
Thank you for sharing the joy.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Kurcharski?
Well, I was going to nominate Laura, but I guess I shouldn't. I have an attitude of being willing to serve, but this wouldn't be like the thing that I think.
Your wellhouse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be it would stretch me, and that's not a bad thing. I'm here to serve the public, but yeah, if somebody else has more passion for that, I'm happy to step aside, but we'll step up if there's a vacancy that needs to be filled.
To quote, I believe it was William Tecumseh Sherman, if nominated, I will not run. If elected, I will not serve. I don't have any room in my calendar to do this, unfortunately. I know it's a short timeline, and I just can't commit to it.
So
So you got you.
I know that
You got
I'm going to
McKay.
be on it. I guess Commissioner Duran would be on it. And do I have to appoint, do we have to decide on one more person
I
tonight?
think you do. I think, I will just say this as an open comment. I think Commissioner Barraza shows a lot of interest in this.
There we
and-
have it. We have our
Okay.
3. Do we have to do a motion? It's a conflict?
What's the conflict, sorry?
Do we know if his nonprofit is applying this year? Because then he cannot be in.
Oh,
I do understand, I believe he's stepped down, but he founded a nonprofit. He was a longtime CEO, and they've repeatedly expressed an interest, I believe, in applying.
But that would interfere with him serving on this commission as well, if I'm not mistaken, so.
Well,
This is just to
The subcommittee will be identifying the members who will score the applications, that you won't necessarily be involved in the actual scoring.
I think Commissioner Barraza would be okay.
Yeah, I don't see
We'll go through a
conflict.
conflict of interest review process once you select everyone. We'll work with the city attorney, just because we're keeping conflict of interest or potential perception of conflict of interest front and center. So you go ahead and nominate, and then we'll work with city attorney. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
not
and
here
that's-
to.
And that's probably, that'll probably get
But I
sent
just-
to Amanda, I think, so she does all that, so.
But I just want to say Commissioner Barraza is not in attendance to answer, but I do believe that if there was a conflict of interest, that he wouldn't even be on this commission. So I think that he's more than capable to serve on the subcommittee alongside Commissioner Duran and myself.
Okay, we will move forward with Duran.
Sorry, Sarah. City Attorney, if that is an issue and we only have 2 members, do we have to come back at the later meeting and then elect a third to replace?
I think you'd have to, because if the commission's the one appointing them, then to appoint a replacement, it would have to come back.
Which then means the work stopped, correct? Until that third member?
Can we name
Actually,
an alternate?
there's no quorum requirement, so I guess they could function as 2, but it's set up for 3. So, I mean, technically, like I say, there's no quorum requirement in there.
Can we
we
include an
did-
alternate?
I have a question. When Commissioner Trilio resigned, we continued on with those meetings without him, and it was just a 2-person subcommittee. So how would that be different now?
Yeah, I don't see that it would preclude you.
Okay. So if Commissioner Barraza is not able to serve, then we can still proceed on with a 2-member, or we can add someone on, correct?
It sounds like, yes, you can proceed with 2, and then we can add on as necessary.
Okay, let's move forward with the 3 names, and then if there is a conflict of interest, then we will select someone else.
Okay. For the 2 that are here today, we would like to schedule the first meeting. This is a quick turnaround.
Sarah, before you do that, can we get a formal motion to just appoint them, and then that way it's on the record?
So how would you like me to say it?
I
Is there a
would-
motion to appoint Commissioner Duran and Chair McCoy to the Ad hoc Application Review Committee Member Selection Subcommittee?
And
You're missing one.
Commissioner Barraza.
And Commissioner Barraza. That's
Correct.
a lot.
Well said.
Thank you.
I would move I would motion in support of that.
I know you would. Thank you, Thank you, Commissioner Dolan. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Karcharski. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed say no. All right, it has been adopted. The
Resolution.
Ad hoc Application Review Committee Member Selection Subcommittee has been selected, and we would like to schedule our first meeting, correct?
Yes.
What dates do you have in mind?
So Thursday or Friday of this week.
Not Thursday, no Friday meetings for me, sorry.
We need to.
Yeah, let's do Thursday.
Thursday?
Yes.
Okay. Anytime.
Let's make sure. If
Yeah.
it doesn't work for Thursday, I'll do Friday, but can we do early Friday?
And this is going to be virtual, so we will send out a Zoom link. So
Okay.
wherever you are, you can attend.
Do we have a time for either day?
Any day,
Oh, I see.
we'll open it up for you.
Okay.
But it has to be this week.
And it would be an hour, half hour? The
I-
first meeting?
Approximately an hour.
Okay. Do we have anything like early in the morning Thursday by chance?
You give us a time and we will make it work.
Okay.
That's fine with me, whatever time I make it work.
I mean, 8:30.
Nah, I do school drop off.
Okay, that's good to know. See, there we go. We're getting closer.
Let's do like 10. Can we do 10? Would that work for you?
I cannot do 10.
Okay. 9?
I can do 9, but I would have to jump off probably a little before 10.
If that's okay.
It doesn't matter. It works for me.
Okay.
Okay.
Are we going to be okay if we have one member?
Oh.
Oh, no. All right, what about 1?
1 p.m.?
Yeah, will 1 p.m. work for you?
No.
Okay, so what would work for you?
Anytime after 3:15.
Okay, can we do 3:30?
3:30 to 4:30?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Can you send me a reminder?
Yes, I will
Calendar
send out a
invite,
calendar
please?
invite tomorrow with the Zoom link also.
Please do, before anything gets on my calendar.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you. All right, we will move on to hearing ID number 26-1080. Receive public input on expanded access to arts and culture grant program. Would any member of the public like to make a comment regarding this item? You will have up to 3 minutes for comment. And I have Kemi.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Cami Sapola, and I am representing the Fresno City and County Historical Society and one of our fiscally sponsored projects, Heritage in Action, Black History Shaping Fresno's Future. I want to briefly explain what has happened from our perspective as fiscal sponsors. Heritage in Action created a budget and project narrative specifically designed to benefit artists, creators, and community leaders. The very people Measure P's expanded access to arts and culture funding is intended to support. The funding was not delivered within timelines that were communicated to us. The check issued to us had ultimately bounced. We were subsequently directed by the Fresno Arts Council to move forward with the Juneteenth project despite not having received the funding. We did so because we were given information that made it reasonable for us and for the artists and creators that we asked to participate in this event to trust this process. We did not act and proceed recklessly. We proceeded based on the direction and assurances that we received. And we did deliver. Families came, stories were told, history was preserved, people saw themselves represented. Artists created meaningful work for our community, but the funding never came. Throughout this process, FCCHS has responded quickly and accurately to every documentation reporting request that we've received from the city. However, after submitting requested materials, we have repeatedly been informed that an additional document or requirement is needed. During the initial meetings that was not communicated from the Arts Council or the city. Each additional request has further delayed the closing of the project and payment to the artists. As the fiscal sponsor, we have fulfilled the requirements we have been given, yet the artists who completed the work are still waiting to be paid. For an organization, these administrative delays are difficult. For an artist who has already completed the work and paid expenses out of their own pocket, they can be devastating. This is the part that really concerns me the most. The people who did this work should not be carrying the financial consequences of a funding process that they had no control over. And it's not just about one project. This is the artist's experience for this kind of process. It affects their willingness to participate in future public funding opportunities, and it affects the trust between artists, organizations, fiscal sponsors, and the city of Fresno. For us, it's also a significant organizational concern because we want to continue to fiscally sponsor more artists and more projects, and if we are expected to advance project costs based on insurances, that funding will follow without reliable mechanism for receiving that funding. The financial risk becomes unsustainable for us and for the artists. We are not here to assign blame. However, we are asking for the commitments made to these artists and this project to be honored. In closing, we simply want the system to work as it was intended, and we want the people who did the work to get paid. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Megan Freeman. How you pronounce your first name? Mogan, okay.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mogan Freeman, Creative Director and founder of Solstice Series, LLC. Dear Pratt Commissioners, thank you for providing me the opportunity to speak directly about my experience with this funding delay and funding process and the impact of the delay has had on me, my business, and the artists I work with, and the broader cultural community I serve. I want to begin by making something very clear. Solstice Series was not created from a place of financial security. It was created through perseverance, grief, instability, and an extraordinary commitment to the arts. I built Solstice Series during one of the most difficult periods of my life. I experienced homelessness while continuing to create. I was grieving the devastating loss of my daughter last year, January 10th, 2025. I continued creating, trying to establish a legitimate creative business and built something meaningful for artists, designers, models, photographers, performers, stylists, and other cultural workers. Despite those circumstances, I continued. I created Solstice Series because I believe artists deserve space where their work is respected, presented professionally, and compensated fairly. I believed in the mission strongly enough to continue investing my own time, labor, resources, transportation, coordination, relationships, and personal finances into making these productions happen. The expectation of grant funding was not treated as an abstract possibility. I made real financial decisions and undertook real obligations based upon the expectation that the funding associated with this program would be available to support the work. That distinction matters. While waiting for funding, I continued operating. I paid project expenses out of pocket. I spent money on transportation, gas, supplies, production needs, coordination, communication, preparation, and countless expenses that come with producing an event and maintaining a creative operation. I contributed something even more valuable than money, my time and labor. Every production requires planning, artist coordination, scheduling, communication, transportation, problem-solving, venue logistics, creative direction, production management, and relationship management. Much of that work happens long before an audience ever sees its final production. At the same time, my personal financial circumstances became increasingly difficult. I lost my vehicle, which directly affected my ability to move myself, equipment, supplies, and personnel to maintain the level of mobility necessary to operate my business. Transportation costs increased, gas became another major business expense. Rides and transportation arrangements that could have been covered by a functioning business infrastructure became personal financial burdens. I was also dealing with significant personal hardships and changes within my own family. Yet still produced, I still showed up and still created opportunities for other people and creatives. I still honored commitments to the artists and cultural workers who trusted me. And that is the part of this process that must be understood. This is also lies within my business integrity, I believe deserves consideration. I have worked to establish Solstice Series as a legitimate creative enterprise rather than an informal project. I have invested in a structure.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have anyone online?
Parvin, you have 3 minutes.
Is it time? Now it is a good time?
For the Expanded Access to Arts and Culture Grant Program.
Yes, please go ahead and speak. You have 3 minutes.
Okay, so good afternoon again. My name is Parveen Malek, and I am the director of Iranian Culture and Art Club. Iranian Culture and Art Club, they are like between 50 to 60 kids from age 5 years old to 16 years old. They come every Friday. They learn about the culture, about dance, about music and art in the organization. And so for them, we provide the dance clothes, costume, and sometimes a snack, and sometimes some reward to encourage them to attend and memorize the poem and learn the dance. And I got the cycle 1 and the cycle 2. And when we reported, we just reported that like how much for the artistic fee we paid, how much is the rental and all of those. But this time they asked for the so many detailed items that we are not used to it. They ask for every receipt. So what I did, I went to all of the statements and everything that I spent for this purpose. I screenshot that and I explained it and I wrote it that what is it for. And I got all of the check that it was in my account. All the check, I get a screenshot and I put it in the PDF file and send it to them. And then they said, no, it is not enough. We wanted the actual statement. So from June 25 to July, from July 25 to June 26, I went one by one, get the copy of the PDF copy of all of those and send it to them. And now they have a list of the Amazon, a list of the Costco, a list of the Office Max, and the list is between 10 to 20 items. They are asking that I go to one by one this store and with the item number and the date to ask them to give me the item that what is it for and what I spend it. And this is something that really, it scares me, and really I am not able to do that. That is too much. And we don't used to that. And it is really disappointing. I am just telling you, if this is what you ask for every
Elizabeth Laval, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you to the PRAC and the city staff. There are just a couple of things I wanted to kind of get on the record and clarify. We are a larger organization as far as budget. We also fiscally sponsor, as you all know, a number of organizations. My concerns are really twofold, and you've heard from one of our fiscal sponsorees that we got the check on February 9th. We had the check, so the contract had been completed, all insurance, everything was done. The check bounced. We know that this was an unusual year, and the city ran into action as quickly as they could. But on behalf of the organizations that weren't funded, not the 90% organizations, but our Heritage in Action program that you've been hearing about tonight, we had the check. We were guaranteed by the city that we would be prioritized. It is now 150 days since we put our neck on the line based on what the city suggested. And trust me, I have no complaints with the city. They are working their butts off. Weekends, every day, they answer us, none of that. But here's our dilemma. As a fiscal sponsor, I cannot afford to fully fund this project. And I was under the understanding that we would have priority on getting our check or our funds for those who had been in that group that received nothing from round two. I promised my staff, I promised our fiscal sponsorees, and now I can't deliver on that. And I would like to say what Parvin was trying to say, and I know Jackson Keitel left, but he's also one who didn't get any of his funding in his town hall, which had insurance for the Soroyan, so I'm sure it will work. There were a huge number of things that the city is requiring. I'm a grant writer for 40 years. I understand exactly what Shelby's saying, but in a circumstance like this, cycle 2 should have abided by pretty much what the Fresno Arts Council had demanded we keep, because the things that we've had to dig up and come up with and all of that, it makes complete sense for round 3. But for round 2, we just got to get these people paid, and ourselves included. So I just really want that on the record, that we are having our folk.
I don't know, I keep thinking it's on. I don't know if I'm saying your first name correct. Asire Williams? Astro Williams. Please come up. You have 3 minutes.
I'm not going to take the whole 3 minutes. Hello, my name is Astro. I'm a local artist, art educator, and founder of Artistry and Community, where I created Artistry and Voices to provide opportunities for Fresno artists to create, collaborate, be seen, and be compensated. I'm speaking tonight because there is a serious disconnect between the promises of the arts funding in Fresno and what it actually feels like trying to access it. The issue isn't just simply a lack of funding. It's the misdirection, the confusion, the changing information, and the amount of time artists spend trying to figure out where to go, who to speak with, what we qualify for, and when funding will actually become available. And that confusion creates a financial burden. People like me are still expected to keep showing up. We're organizing programs, building partnerships, securing spaces, paying for materials, supporting other artists, and trying to create opportunities for and within our community, often while carrying those expenses ourselves. And I want to make this personal. I am navigating a serious illness while continuing to show up for Fresno's arts community. I'm still creating, I'm still organizing, and I'm still finding opportunities for other artists. And I'm still sitting in rooms like this, advocating for the value of our work. But I should not have to put myself into financial hardship to keep serving my community. When funding systems are confusing or delayed, that burden doesn't disappear. It gets transformed onto people like me. That's why I'm asking the city to look beyond how much money has been allocated and examine how that money is actually reaching independent artists and emerging organizations. We need clear communication, we need transparency, we need realistic timelines, and we need accessible pathways to funding, because Fresno's artists are already doing the work. We're showing up, the system needs to show up for us too. And that's it, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else online? All right, we will now move on. Oh, I'm sorry. Does any member of this commission have any questions regarding this item? All right, we will move on to hearing number 26-1081. Hearing to receive public input on allocations related to Measure P, updates to the Parks Master Plan and Cultural Arts Plan, and annual Parks Department budget and capital improvement plans. Would any member of the public like to make a comment regarding this item? You will have up to 3 minutes for comment. I don't see any cards in the basket. Do we have anyone online?
There's no one online.
All right, I will now close public comment. Does any member of the commission have any questions or comments regarding this item? All right, it is, yes?
I guess you made a comment earlier that I was wondering about for the Parks Department to take the Arts and Culture Grant Program on long-term or not. I was wondering if there was, I know you're focused on these grant rounds right now, but curious if, you know, when we're talking about budgets and things, if we're going to be looking at city taking that on for a while, that would be, that whatever the Arts Council was getting for administration and things, that would be going to the Parks Department to fund those roles you were hiring for.
Correct. That's that 2% that in the past went to the Arts Council that we are using to work through this process.
Okay. Yeah, that was just a clarifying then. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Commissioner Duran, you have questions? Oh, okay. Anyone else? I didn't even look this way. I'm sorry. All right.
Chair, I'm sorry, I do have a question really quick, kind of related to this on capital. Last meeting, we talked about setting up some field trips to go visit a few of the projects under construction right now. Is there still a strong interest in that ahead of, okay. We're going to send out some dates. Again, we can only do 3 at a time due to the Brown Act. So it sounds like, you know, it'll need to be during the day when we have access to the site, you know, work with our contractors. So we'll send some dates and some times to all of you to see what works, along with kind of an agenda of what we would be visiting and where we'd be going.
Make sure they're on the 3rd Monday of the month.
Excuse me? Monday Night Football?
Yeah, Monday Night Football.
Perfect. Thank you all.
Thank you. It is 7:15, and as always, I would like to adjourn the meeting in the memory of Dr. Francine Naputa. Thank you for coming out, speaking out, and please have a blessed evening. Enjoy the rest of your time with your family. Thank you.